You ever have that movie that the masses absolutely love and the critics praise left and right, but you just look at it and go, I don't get it? Well, in this series of mine, we're going to look at some of the movies that everyone seems to love, but I'm just not 100% sure about. And in this first episode, we're going to talk about one of the most popular and most well-revered MCU films, Spider-Man: Homecoming. Now, like my other reviews, I'm going to talk about the general story first without spoilers, and then when I get into some of the details of the movie, I'll get into some spoilers. So, let's go ahead and get started. It's a few months since the events of Civil War, and Spider-Man is ready to be an Avenger. Or at least, that's what he thinks. Constantly waiting for his next mission, constantly texting Happy Hogan and trying to get in touch with Iron Man, he really wants to be an Avenger and to prove himself. But they want him to be a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Imagine that. But when some high-tech weapons are being stolen by a villain known as the Vulture, played by Michael Keaton, it looks like Spider-Man is the only one who can stop him. Can he stop the bad guys and prove himself as a potential Avenger? The movie suggests yes, but let's not jump to conclusions. Quite yet. Now, I know given the title of this video, you think I'm going to have some really negative reaction to this movie. Well, let me just make one thing perfectly clear. I think this movie is decent. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's terrible. It's just decent. Now, keep in mind, my opinion's going to be a bit different because I did not grow up watching the Sam Raimi trilogy or seeing the Andrew Garfield movies. So this was the first Spider-Man movie I ever saw, period. So naturally, the first time I saw it, I really liked it and had a great time. On repeated viewings, however, my enjoyment of the movie has lessened a bit, and really that does get into some of the spoilers and the story. But overall, let me just go over the things that I think are good before I get into that stuff. First, Tom Holland does a really good job as Spider-Man. He's a good balance of being both a really good nerdy and awkward Peter Parker, and also a good Spider-Man for this particular universe. The other supporting cast is pretty good, particularly Michael Keaton as the villain. He's really the standout of this movie in my opinion, and his story is an appropriately sad and tragic one that I do like, and I think does sort of shine a new light on an area the MCU hadn't tackled at that point. The action is good, the effects are cool, and overall the story seems to fit well within this universe for this kind of Spider-Man. So yeah, I do like this movie, I just don't love it. Like, I would probably give this more like a B or a C than I would an S tier like a lot of people do. But here's where I'm going to get into spoilers, because this is where some of my negative criticisms of the movie are really going to come from. So, if for whatever reason you haven't seen the movie yet, going once, going twice, you've been warned. Let's go. First, I don't love the idea that he has to screw up a lot in this movie. I understand he's a newer hero, but I just don't... I've never loved stories that really focus on characters that mess up a lot, and no one will believe in them until the very end, and this is one of those kinds of movies. Now, for this Spider-Man in this universe, I can understand why they went this route, and it's not a bad choice to make. It's just not a story that I typically like. It's like the Chicken Little effect. It's just a little too mean-spirited, and I don't know, I just don't like those kinds of stories. They just get on my nerves sometimes. Secondly, I know Zendaya becomes the love interest in the other two movies, which Far From Home and No Way Home I like a lot more than this. But the love interest in this movie, I feel really bad for because she basically kind of gets screwed over by the end because of Peter Parker, and they never really address it, and that's just something that's always kind of stuck with me, even in the trilogy. Third, I don't really love how Iron Man treats him in this movie. I understand that he's a kid, and he wants him to be a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man because it's safer. But there are some choices in this movie that he makes with him that I really don't like, and I just think make him kind of a bad mentor, in my opinion. Like, for example, when Spider-Man tells him about this guy who's stealing all these weapons, Iron Man just tells him not to worry about it. And then later, after Iron Man doesn't respond to him for quite a while, Spider-Man tries to handle the problem himself, only for Iron Man to chew him out saying, oh, we had agents and stuff working on this. And Well, why didn't you just tell him that? I don't understand what would have been so hard about that. Also, Spider-Man, I guess, is only qualified to be an Avenger after he saves your plane full of high-tech equipment that the Vulture tries to steal. I don't think so, buddy. I'm sorry. That's just a dick move on your part. So overall, I don't think the movie's bad. It's just the way the story's told is just kind of frustrating to me because of those kinds of choices. But again, I do like this movie, and I'm sure if I watch it again, maybe my opinion will change. But for now, it unfortunately is going to be in this list of videos. Well, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.